Start it up. Welcome back to the MBH podcast, Money Buys Happiness, Season 2, Episode 3. We're here with our boy, Teddy Tong.
What's good? What's good?
AKA Teddles.
AKA Teddles.
My first podcast ever. My first podcast ever.
Okay.
Podcast Virginia. Virginia. Wow. Podcast Virginia.
Podcast Virginia today.
We got some Podcast Virginia. Bro, tell us who you are, what you do. I mean, a lot of our network knows who you are because you did the Real Talk stuff with us, which is super dope.
Yeah.
But it was about time we had you back in here.
Which was very that was a great experience.
Thanks, bro.
By the way, shout out to the editor too. I was telling her, I was like, I worked with a lot of editors, and usually when they send back content, there's usually 2-3 runs of feedback.
Yeah,
I watched our first rip. I said, "Wow,
that
was an incredible piece."
Shouts a killer. Yeah,
so you guys really do that well, and
thanks, bro.
Yeah, appreciate that.
With that being said, yeah, bro. I mean, trying to just give someone some insight of who you are. Maybe someone that doesn't know you and just listening right now.
Okay. I was a kid in my room that enjoyed making videos. That was my dream. My father's Vietnamese, my mom's Filipino, and it's not necessarily a career path. You know what I'm saying? And I knew from a young age, I was like, young, I mean 18 to 21, where my dad was putting it down constantly. He was like, you're Asian. My mom's calling me right now. I love you, mom. He was like, he's like, to be honest, word for word, no, just pure transparency. He's like, you're an Asian dude, you don't see that on TV. And that was the kind of things that was around me growing up. It was kind of crazy because I'm like, I love doing this stuff. So yeah, I was just a kid that enjoyed making videos in my room, and from that journey allowed me to grow my personal brand. Luckily, the people that support me, I love you guys. I don't even have a name for them. People have names for them. I don't have. What I call you, teddy bears? You know what I mean?
This is my teddy bear.
So in that journey, it's probably been maybe 4 or 5 years now, and I work for a tattoo studio where I'm pretty much their social media ambassador.
King.
Crown King. Shout out Crown King. All my tattoos. I had no tattoos. We'll get into that later. I had no tattoos going into there, but. So yeah, that journey allowed me to, lead to them, and I'm their social media ambassador. So I'm pretty much essentially their face. I'll go to each studio and I'll show love, and I'll kind of unveil the layers of what the studio is. Okay. Creating just kind of it's almost like a mini vlog.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for 4 years for them for a living, and then in 2019, TSN picked me up, as a personality. I could add the TV bag. You know what I'm saying? The TV bag. You know what I'm saying? That too. And then I make skits. I was telling Nemo where I did a skit the other day. I'm like, when I make skits, I'm really happy because that's where I started.
That's you're in your focus.
Yeah, this is my journey. End goal for me is, if Netflix gives me a chance, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
I'd love to, give me a character. I don't care if I die season 1, episode 9. I'm still in there. Give me a chance.
I think I want 2 episodes. Come on.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
No, it's cool.
That's crazy,
I think it's crazy because it's like you said, right? Making videos in your room. Even 5 years ago, it was barely a thing, right? That you could turn into a job, right?
Yeah.
Or a career path. So, and obviously you said coming from an Asian family, probably
Asian people, they know. They know.
How
a lot
was
of them are
that?
nurses right now, and they're yo, don't get me wrong, less job. But a lot of them right now are, I get really heartfelt messages from kids that are your journey is inspiring because, I'm in a place right now where I'm doing my job, and I did follow what my parents had to say, but now I'm kind of resenting a bit. And it's a real thing. That really happens. And I'm glad I'm able to, kind of push that as far as I can, so that, someone could find their way too.
How are you able to put that noise aside? I mean, coming from your family too. Yeah. That's the closest people to you.
Yeah, but I think it's
But I'm a strong believer in when you're trying to do your own thing, it's hard for your parents to understand a lot of the time. They're the closest to you. They love you more than anyone.
Did you guys have to go through that?
Of course.
Right now?
Right now? Well, now it's kind of stopping a bit.
Yeah, because you got the big T now.
You got the big T. My mom comes in, she's like, big T, okay, he's good. He did his thing, right? But I think at that moment too, you're saying you're 18, you're 19, right? The only people you really listen to or try to listen to are your parents. So how did you kind of put that noise aside? Say, I'm just gonna keep making videos. I know my pop said this. I'm looking at TV. I don't see too many people that are like me on TV. what made you keep going? Because that's the part right there. That's the hardest part.
It's true. That's such a deep question. If I were to just bring myself back, there's no other way for me. Like, I don't know why, but luckily from that age, I understood that, you know, if I followed what they wanted, I'll end up doing that. And at 35, I'm upset at them, but for what?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be close with our parents.
Of course.
That's just facts. And as I get older, you know, I'm 28 now, you know, I understand that, like, you know, you gotta be close to your parents. Like, it's so real. Yeah. You know, like, you know, just the other day, you know, I'm a big fan of UFC. You guys are fans of UFC?
Of course.
You know, Khabib, right? Yeah. Like, come on now. Like, perfect career. You know, father passed, but then it doesn't matter. Like, you see all the fighters coming together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And his career's over.
Yeah, like I knew that, and you know, part of me thought, you know, and like the girlfriends at the time, and like my friends, they didn't understand, and a part of me was like, yo, am I crazy? Like, am I like psychopath a bit? Because like, yo, like Ernesto, like you see my page, like I've been doing videos, and like, you know, they're not probably like they're better now, obviously, but like in that time, like,
honestly, you have some really good ones when you were starting up too.
I know, pretty cringe still. They're on Facebook. But my Facebook got hacked, so it's okay. You know? But you know, like, so from that age, I understood, and I think the answer is like, you just like, there's no what if for me. Like,
there's no other. You made that the only option. And I think that's what people kind of tend to forget. They'll make it their option, but they have that backup. They're like, no, but it's all good because just in case, I'll just go work with my parents, or I'll go get this job. But if you put that in your head to begin with, then you're gonna think it's okay if you fail anyways, right?
And during that time though, like when you are making these videos to start, right, young age, like, did you have a job before that?
Yeah.
Like,
so
what were you doing then?
Yeah. So okay. So straight out of high school, I got accepted to York for kinesiology, and you know, I was in that mind space as well, where I was like, okay, you know, I gotta go to school because I guess that's what everyone's doing, like, you know. But from like, I already knew, like, I was just like, I didn't have the study habits. And the thing about school that you guys probably know now is, you know, school is okay. There's part of it is like you're smart. You're fucking smart. Can I swear?
Yeah.
Oh, you're fucking smart. You're fucking smart, right? And then and a part of it too is like having a you know how to study.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to study, man. Like, I didn't figure that out. So, you know, when I came out of high school, I went to kin, and it was just like, you know what I mean? I'm not even gonna talk about that. Like, what, you know, and then from there I switched programs to nursing, which was like, my parents were like, yo, like, you know, this guy's
he's finally doing the thing.
Let's go. And in that time, I was like already starting to make videos. I don't know. I think I made when did you guys make IG? I made IG 2012. I just checked.
Had IG
today.
2011, 2012, something like that.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
So IG hasn't even been around really, right?
I know.
Not even like a decade, or has it?
No,
I
it's
think
2010.
It's just a decade.
Yeah, it's a decade right now.
Just a decade. So, excuse me. So yeah, so I switched, and that's when my parents were like, "Oh man, like, yo, he's gonna, you know, he's doing it." And I felt happy because, like, you know, you want to make your parents proud at that age.
Of course.
But then in the back of my brain too, I'm like, yo, but I'm not even going to class.
Yeah.
I'm not even like,
they're happy for this reason, but I'm not even doing it.
Yeah, so it's like I'm making them just be okay every day. Yeah. But like, it wasn't me, and I was like, yo, like, this is like, I want to like. Yo, honestly, I was like, I want to act. Like, from that age, I'm like, yo, I want to act. Like, I didn't even have any videos really. You know, I would make a couple videos in the webcam, but that was my thing. Like, I wanted to act. So, first year there, it didn't work out. So it was a big turning point because, you know, not a lot of people know this. You're gonna know now. This is the first. I'm telling you guys, first podcast.
Okay,
Get it? Like, yo, I'm telling you,
you need the juice, big
T, like. But no, like, so that moment I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. So let me try to do science field, but something that I'm happy with too. So I actually transferred again for the third time to paramedics. And paramedics at the time was just 2 years. Like, so I was like, okay, I could do it in 2 years, and I'm still young. And it's so crazy the pressure we feel that young, right? Yeah. Like, remember how young I'm probably like 22. And my parents are like, you need to have your life together.
Yeah.
Like, yo, and this is like strict, like, you know. Yeah. So I really felt like I was failing them. And the turning point for me was, I remember my parents called me to their room. Like, can we have a talk, Ted? Right? And I go to the room, and they're both crying. Both of them. I never see my dad cry. Like, my mom, you know, a couple times, but never see my dad cry. And they're both crying, and they're like, Teddy, I don't know, you keep switching programs, and like, yo, like, you need to figure this out. Like, you know, what do you want to do?
And you're how old at this time?
I'm like 22, I think,
Jeez.
21.
Yeah.
You need to figure out your life, And to the point where my dad even said, if you want to join the army,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
like go do that, because you'll be like, I'm just like, bro, what?
You'll
I'll
get
go to the army.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't even think I'll pass the physical test. Like, I used to take fried, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I was at the
This guy said
time.
army, bro. This guy's face probably dropped.
What? I said army. I'm like, this guy's disrespectful.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like, you know. So and then so yes, he said he's army. I'm like, oh man. But when they were crying, I was like, yo, this is a serious thing.
Yeah.
Like my
Yeah,
parents
yeah.
are legit crying. Like I'm failing them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You know, you don't know when you're young. You don't know. You think your friends are doing better. You know, you think you know, some of them are in school in their last year. They graduated. You think, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn. So, it's such a crazy journey, man. So I did that so I'm in paramedics, and in my mind already, I'm like, I'm gonna finish it, and then when I'm done, you know, we'll get into something else. In that time, that's when the Chronic Inc. thing kind of came up, and I was making videos at the same time. So mind you, I kept making videos.
Yeah, which is what I was
through
curious
this.
Yeah, but weren't your parents just like, yo, all this shit's popping and you're still making videos?
Yeah, no,
That's
like
what you're worried about right now?
no,
Like,
bro,
you know what I
I remember legit, like I was making this one skit. Okay, not funny. It's not funny. It wasn't funny. I don't even think I posted it. Right? I made this one video, and I was like, you know, whatever. It was loud in my room. My dad walks in. He goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Yo, like Dad, I'm just making a video." Da, da, da. He's like, "Why?" Like, he's like, "Why are you making videos?" Like, is it even funny? Like, what are you trying to do?
Yeah,
like, he doesn't know our Instagram,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Dad, I'm just making videos. Da, da, da. But this is how I knew this was for me, because when you're getting so much negativity, he left the room. I still finished the skit.
Hey.
Yeah.
But that's when I knew I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this is for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. You have to be crazy with what you're trying to do, bro.
Yeah, like it was, you know, but that's a good lesson for life too, because a lot of times, right? You heard this before, like everyone's putting fears on you constantly. But for what?
Yeah.
Why? You know, your closest people to you are doing that. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's like you say, because like I think like they care about you. Your parents care about you. Your close friends, they care about you. They don't want to see you fail, right? But failure is a part of a life, right?
That's right.
And to reach the goals you're looking for, you know, especially in your field, like the creative field, it's the hardest one.
Yeah.
One of them, you're gonna fail 100 times. You're gonna fail 1,000 times.
That's right.
Right? That's crazy.
So you start picking it up. You start doing the videos. Chronic Inc. approached you.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
I
was
kept
curious
doing.
how that
So I
happened.
kept making videos, trash, right? and then Chronic Inc. You know, so at that time, like guys, I got like 2,000 followers.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's
I felt-
crazy.
That was
I
a
felt-
lot. Yeah, that's
yo,
a lot back then.
Watch how my head turns. I felt sexy, like you know what I mean? Like,
Come on, bro.
I told you we're gonna have fun.
For real.
Yeah, like no, I felt like and so at the time, so then they put out this contest, which is crazy. Like many full circle moments. Like I'm learning. Like they put out this thing, and they're like, we're looking for the next cabbie. It's fucking weird.
Oh, Cabby,
Which
my
Cabby's
guy.
my boy, and I call him right now. Like
Yeah,
Cabby,
yeah.
yo, say hi. Like he's my boy. Like he's like my mentor. Like and. They said they're looking for the next Cabby. They're looking for the next Jimmy Fallon. They're looking for a personality to come in our studio and do whatever, which is insane and very they're Chronic Inc.'s ahead of their time, because they're looking for someone like that, and now all studios are trying to do that.
Yeah, and what year was that?
It's not too late, but
Exactly.
you know, kind of like to us, like
late.
So, sorry,
What year was that? Do you remember?
Because it's early on in the
What-
Instagram
yeah,
world.
well, that's what I'm trying to say is
Maybe,
if-
I can actually check right now.
If they're looking for like a personality, you know, to run their socials, that's early, bro.
Yeah, that's-
and for a tattoo studio to realize that,
that's genius, bro.
Yeah, so
Wow.
this was like, let me check right now. One second.
damn.
This was like the contest.
That-
Yeah,
that-
okay. So this is the contest.
That's how I know it was ages ago. This man's going bare.
Bro, I passed some shit like I need to delete too. Like, damn. 2016.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Bro, look at my hair here, bro. Am I good?
Sweet, though, sweet.
No, so look. So that was the contest, March 7, 2016. So they put out a thing where, like, okay, if you want to try out, make a video, anything about tattoos. And remember, this is the time where Instagram had 15-second videos.
Yeah.
So
You have to be quick with it.
You have to be quick with it, right? So,
And no tattoos.
and I had no tattoos.
Okay.
Which is crazy, because at the end I was like, I'm just trying to get tatted.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, but
That's crazy, bro.
so 2016, and you know, you just basically had to put in a video as a submission, hashtag Reppin' Chronic Inc., and then they'll choose top 20. So, yeah, like So that when I saw that, it was cool because there's some people I know that rock with me from years then, because there was like a couple, like 3-4 people that I wish I need to go check I wish I could check their IG now and say like, yo, thank you like for supporting me that young. Like they tagged me in that contest. So I didn't
random people, just
yeah,
random people.
I wasn't even,
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, like Chronic was like, yo, like you should try. Like someone DM and so, yo, we should like try out whatever. So I said, bet, and I tried out. And then like, yo, I seen the competition, no disrespect. I was like, yo,
it's me. This is me.
You just went for it at that point.
I went for it. And, you know, I was very impressed of how like ahead they were and how, you know, they were willing to pay, you know, what they pay and the travel and the experience and the marketing. And now the marketing is a huge team. I have so much respect for them, man, like forever. You know what I mean? It's on my body, like forever. Like the collaborations this studio does. You know, we wrapped a Aston Martin DB11
I remember you told me.
Yeah, you were telling us about this.
I don't know what our artist Tristan is probably one of the like, you know, top 5 in the world at Asian art, like, and he wrapped. There was a car, a DB11. You guys know cars?
Yeah.
So I don't even know, like, but that was a crazy car, and he free-handed it.
Shit.
We have a couple collaborations coming up that are pretty like, you know, like not even in the same field. We make it so that
make it happen.
You know, so I've been with them for like 4 years now, and we've done a lot together. Man, if I were to just make one video of the timeline, it'd be insane to watch. I'd love to watch that. But, so that's what happened there.
Beautiful.
So yeah,
so
I kind of fast forwarded like top 20 and it was top 10 and then it was like top 5
and then you kind of just went through that process and they took you on. That's beautiful, bro.
No,
and the fact that they were paying content creators at that time is insane.
And that's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say. But even, like 2016, 4 years ago, but a tattoo studio to be doing that?
Yeah.
That,
you're not talking about like something
that
like that needs
marketing. That's where you're like, whoa,
in that way.
Okay, like they're way ahead.
Impressive.
Okay, so you go from that.
Changed my life.
So you go from that, you're working with them, you're doing your thing. You're still making videos, obviously, at this point. Now TSN, where does that come into play? Because now this is the TV bag, right?
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of stories about that.
Yeah.
So I was doing that thing with Chronic Inc. and we're just helping growing the page. And just to start to go back with Chronic Inc., as I continued to do it, so remember, at that time, there was no Instagram stories. So there was Snapchat. So like, okay, let's do some Snapchats and shit. And like, it's so crazy because when I talk on camera like this on my phone, right? I never had that skill. Guys, like I didn't. Like I went in there and my first couple were like really bad because I'm like, how am I gonna go to someone's face that doesn't know me, artists that don't know me? Like, yo, then you know, the next person after me will understand. Like I went through all of it already, so I can really give them some small shortcuts and how to make it easy. But think about it, right? Let's say you 3 are artists. I'm random. You have a client, and then I'm coming to you like, hey, what are you doing? That you don't even know me. Like, it's weird, right? So I took a period of me, you know, just adapting and then trying to like be, you know, get to know all the artists and stuff. So that was just big because they never had Snapchat. And then when Instagram stories came out, we dominated that in the first couple of years. We dominated that. And then, you know, views went up and now people, you know, I get to, you know, it's cool because if I'm getting a tattoo from, artist A and I start filming artist A, that client at home is like, wow, I'm gonna be with them, like it's cool, you know what I mean? It's a cool little
that experience
thing. So TSN, right?
So so you're doing all this, still making videos, you're working with Chronic Inc. now, but at the time you're still doing your own content.
And that's the thing I realized too. So as I was doing it, I started to connect with a lot of guys in the city. Shouts out to like a lot of them, like 6 at 6. That's like my dude. Like he's one of my first dude.
I remember you were collabing with him for a while,
right? Like he was like the first guy in the city that was like killing it. That like was like, yo, you're funny, and he like put me in his videos, and he kind of like he helped me grow too in the beginning. And then as I came up, I started to you know, meet a lot of guys coming up too, like a man like Joseph, Solid Cat, Mucho. I don't want to miss anyone. Like Andy, Nimas, you know, Dem Dog. Like it's like legit like a. It's like a Toronto man. It's legit Toronto man. Like, you know, I'm the only Asian man, but like, fucking, like, you know me, like high school, like, this, like, it's just fuck. I'll rap, it doesn't matter. But like, it's like a Toronto man. Shouts out to you know, Pineapple. His name's Pineapple Palpy too. It's like or Poria Rants. There's a lot of guys, man. a lot of guys coming up, and pretty much while I was doing Chronic, I started connecting with these guys and going like, yo, I love your work, what could we do? And we figured it out. And if you scroll through my page, I have a lot of different bags, like, you know what I mean? Like Mucho, he raps, like I was saying earlier. I was like, yo, let's do Welcome to Vaughn. I used to live there. And then I'm with him, he's rapping. I never, and I know, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like I never really like rap like that, but I'm confident in myself, like, yo, I could adapt, like, so I was like seeing how he did it, and then he was like so talented, how he made a song, boom, boom, then we made the video. The one with Nima's recently, you know, that just worked perfectly for both of us. We have more too coming. Joseph too, like total, like you know, Toronto man 6, you know. So yeah, through that journey with Chronic, I was able to collab with these people, and then I was able to like really like grow too. Like, you know, people don't understand, like, yo, like you have to like network, like you have to. I was doing that by myself, like, you know, just because I was very interested, like, and I wouldn't reach out to someone and just because I know I can gain. It's not like that. I'm reaching out to someone because I really think they're funny, and it's like, let's make some you know, monumental pieces, because that's the reason why I love videos, is because, you know, when it's 2022, I could watch a video from like 2016, like that's why I love videos,
and it's so funny,
know?
Like,
and it's like a thing, it's like a documentation. So but in 2019, like my life changed again, like super dramatic, because this went from behind my phone to Raptors Media Day. And I was like,
big time now.
Yo, that was probably the most nervous I've ever been.
So how does that come? Does that come?
I was gonna ask you that too.
When I tell you guys that, how you feel?
Yo, like, that's, like if someone called me, said like, yo, tomorrow, like, yo, media press day, like, yo, I'm like, yo, bro, you got the wrong number,
so how does that come though? Like, you got
the wrong number.
Did you get a call? Like, is it?
Well, you know, it wasn't just right away Media's Day. Obviously, you know, TSN's well established, to not just make someone random jump in. But there's a guy, which I always like. I would consider him too, like, you know, and that's the thing, like, in your journey, guys, like, whatever you're doing, there will be people that you meet that are so experienced and like can help you that you should never forget them.
Of course.
Because why are they taking a chance on you? Right? There's a lot of people. They could go here. You could be maybe replaceable, quote unquote, but why are they going for you? You can never ever disrespect. Like, you have to show respect always. So there's a guy, you know, his name's D. I don't even know if he wants me to say his name, if he's private or not, but DK, pretty much, you know, boss of all content pretty much at TSN. And when I talk about TSN, I think about the guys that are my age that work there, because there's a branch now called Bar Down, which you've heard of.
Yes,
But I didn't come out of nowhere. Like, these guys made that branch, and it's like hockey content and stuff. And everyone on that team, wow, like that moment, because so for example, like at Chronic Inc., I was alone, right? In terms of being like a personality and whatever.
Of course.
When I went there, there's like 12 of them. And I'm like, wow, like this is cool. Like, you know what I mean? All of us. And we're like, you know, we're all so different too, and we get like, you know, I learned a lot from them, and so shouts out to those guys too. And I pretty much got a message, an email, and it was like, hey Teddy, man, you know, I've seen a lot of your stuff, love your stuff, let's talk further on what we could do. And then it was like the name, and then it was like TSN.
That's the moment when you were like,
yo, when I tell you I teared a bit, it was so crazy. Like, I'm like, what? Like,
you had to look at it, like you were just staring at your phone at that point, like, yo,
it was crazy. It was crazy. Cause
did you answer right away, or did you take
I answered
a second?
right away, and I took the call right away. You know what I mean? But because I wanted him to feel my raw emotion.
Like, you know, like you were really passionate. about it
I was
too.
really. I couldn't. I do believe in myself, but like at that time frame, it was insane. Like, the Raptors were just, bro. Like, the Raptors won a ship that year.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, okay. 2019 was your first year there.
Yeah.
Shit.
So like, I'm there through the buzzer beater, and like, you know, like they won a championship that year. So when he reached out, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I researched his name, and I'm like, I know who this guy is. Like, this is real. Like, got on the call, boom, boom, and like we communicated, and I got in, and I was able to see the studio, and I was able to see Sports Center and the desk, and I'm like, man, like, imagine, man, if I listened, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine if I listened.
I know. That's the moment you start to think
that's
about
when you start
all
looking
that.
back. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was almost a paramedic, bro.
I was almost a paramedic.
But now looking at your whole story, people would say, "Yo, this guy, he might have got lucky getting the TSN gig."
Maybe.
There's no luck, bro.
Yeah.
You just told us a story from even
day
2016,
one,
from day one, anyways, right? But you were doing all those videos that whole time, right? So no one really sees that part.
No.
No one sees you transferring schools 3 times, your parents crying, all that shit. They just see and they're like, "Oh, but I can't do that because like it's Teddy, like he got lucky, or just because it's him."
Yeah.
That's the excuses people use now when they look, right? So it's funny that you mentioned that. But what I want to ask you is how many people have hit you up and just been like, "Yo, thank you for doing what you've done. Like it's inspired me to do something."
Especially
like,
recently.
Yeah. Because that's the kind of growth. Like personally, that's the kind of growth that I look at myself and I'm like, yo, that's when I know I'm growing. When I have that kind of interaction with people, and people look at me like that.
But that's kind of the like, besides the money, this, that, whatever. Like I think those types of messages in the DMs, those ones make you feel good about what you're doing.
Because like you get to a certain point and you're like, shit, like yo, I did this.
Yeah.
Okay, can I help other people do this?
Yeah.
Because I know you're the type of guy like that too, right? And you can see it on your profiles with all the collaboration as well. Because other people, sometimes they would be like, yo, I'm not collaborating. Fuck, like he's trying to use my followers. I'm not, you know what I mean? That kind of
never do that for that.
Right? But like,
guys don't.
But like, I know you're not like that either.
No, yeah, number one, it's probably not gonna look organic, and then, you know, that's it. Like I would tell guys not to do that for that. Like genuinely, like enjoy the person's craft. That way, when you come together and you create something special,
it's genuine too. You could tell, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, how has that impacted you and how you've been trying to grow? I guess every day have people been giving you good feedback, like stuff like that? And has there been bad feedback? Have people been like, yo, what are you saying? Like, what are you even doing?
Oh, guys, that's a whole
or like,
nother,
yo, like the videos aren't fun. Like, you know, there's gonna be haters no matter what you do, right?
No, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
There was something before I want to get to that. You said something about supporters messaging.
Yeah, of course.
I tell them like I tell them like, yo, I'm a work in progress too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I haven't made what I want yet. It's cool. Like the resume is growing, and it's like a lot of things that's kind of shocking. Like cool. Like, but I tell them I'm a work in progress too. So understand that, like, you know, I appreciate the love, but know that I'm working with you.
Yeah, beautiful.
We're still going.
Yeah, we're still moving. Yeah.
I like to tell them
step,
that. But it's happened recently a lot too. Definitely recently. I don't know. There's a Filipino voiceover I did on a swimming thing.
I was dying at that.
Yo,
that was the funniest shit ever, bro.
I
was crying, bro. We watched it right before you got here too.
Bro, that got like 60,000 shares.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And that pisses me off. Yo, my supporters, you guys piss me off. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because
there's 60,000 shares.
No, because I'll make some high produced, you know, video. You know what I'm saying? High produced, you know, the editing's on point, like this and that, whatever. And it'll do like they support, it'll do all right. Then I do a voiceover that I did in my bed. Okay, guys?
You don't have to move.
I'm gonna try to paint a picture for you. My legs were crossed. You know what I'm saying? Like I did that like in my bed, and then I went off. So it kind of shows, but it also reminded me like, okay, they want me to do more stuff like that. That's why they found me kind of thing. So.
Yeah.
That's good. And now you take that, you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna start making more content like this now.
Yeah, so it's I don't know. The networking is important, man. Like if you meet people, don't be a weirdo. Like just be like,
it's true.
Just won't be like, I don't know. I don't explain.
You know what? You mentioned personal brand when you first started talking about your past, and that's something I want to talk about, of course. But tell us about how your personal brand has helped you open the doors you have, because you're telling us, you're like, I didn't go to school to do news reporting. I didn't go to school to learn how to make content, but now you're in the position you're in, right? So
I don't know, man. I don't think you can teach just passion and hunger. I don't think you could teach that. I think it's something that's like from within, like. And a lot of the times when I faced a lot of my big moments, I felt fear, and I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is
real now. Like,
this
it's
is
real.
it.
Yeah.
When I was on TV for the first time, the Raptors parade. You understand what was like? That was
that's crazy. First year,
millions
Raptors
of people
parade,
everywhere.
Yeah.
And you know, I was at Nathan Phillips Square, and I was supposed to go on. And shouts out to Takia. She works at TSN as well, and we were gonna go.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy because there's so much people. You know what I mean? And the stage was a little bit elevated in the center, but you had to get there. So I'm literally like walking, trying to like show my shirt. Like, I'm TSN, let me go. Like, yo, people were like, what? And I'm like pushing through. Like, no one saw that. Like, that was so insane. Like, and when I got up there, I'm like, whoa, I look to the right. I see CP24. I look to the left. I see like another station. I'm like, this is like I remember how to have a moment to myself. Yeah. I was like, this is why.
Yeah. This is big time.
This is it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it was like, it made me like, there's so much more.
Yeah.
You know, it's a work in progress. People try to be, you know, this with social media especially, like, you're only as best as your last post. Of like course. Sometimes it's weird, it's right?
Crazy. Yeah, that's true.
It's like, bro, don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Just enjoy what you're trying to do, and anything that will come, whether it be like a photo or video or experience, just let it go. Like just post it. Like,
of course.
You know what's important, and I like that you said this, and I'm just gonna go back to it. You were saying how like you sit down there and you're like, you create this like perfectly edited video, high quality, whatever, and it gets you like, who knows, whatever, a certain amount of likes, certain amount of shares.
Bro, it gets like 2 views. I'm like, bro, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm one of those.
And then you just post like this like voiceover that you're sitting in your bed, legs crossed.
Yeah, yes.
And it's like 60,000 shares. And I think like that's something that we always preach. We're just like, just post it. Just post it, because you never know. Like, stop thinking so hard about what you're posting, because everyone like, well, it's changing now, but before it was like, your feed would have to be like a mosaic, like it needed to look so nice, and everything
this picture matching over here.
Does this match with that? And
this middle pic's all blue.
No, you're gonna throw up eventually. Like, you're doing too much. Like, don't do that. Like,
just post it. Just post it, because you probably just, you know, that idea, that concept just came to you quick.
Yeah.
You made it, put it out there.
Yeah.
And you're right. The reaction was unreal, right? You got like a better reaction than, I don't know, probably a lot of your videos,
stuff.
right?
It's crazy. Like, and like that's and yeah, guys, I only learned that because I went through it. I would never speak on something I never went through. I went through, you know, being like, yo, should I post this? Oh, what time? Like, man, that actually doesn't matter. The right people will see it when they're supposed to see it.
Of course.
Maybe don't post at 3 a.m. You feel me?
Yeah.
But like,
you're gonna look like a weirdo.
Yeah, don't be a weirdo. But then wake up and then like maybe post it. But you know, definitely that eased my mind, and you know, I learned that along the way.
So do you like always kind of go back to your content and see maybe what people were viewing more, what people liked more of? Because I mean, you're a big believer, like I said, in personal brand, right? So that pretty much means you're always looking to get the attention out there for yourself and give people value, right? Yeah. So do you have a process where you look at your content and be like, you know what, this worked, this one actually did better, let's focus on something like this? Or do you just do it based on what you want to do?
Yeah, like if I make something and I'm like, this is dope, I really like it, I want it to live on my page, post it.
Okay, but for example, how everyone just liked the commentary, the voiceover, does that incline you now to do more of those?
100%.
For sure,
It does. Yeah, it's because like,
I'm just kind of bringing up the point so people know that they should be going to look back at this stuff and see what's working, see what's not working.
No.
You know
you definitely should. That's a great point. Fam. Like, you definitely post a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what pops out of 5.
Of course.
Then just, you know, repeat it. Try to do it better.
How do you stay inspired to keep making content, and how do you actually, what inspires you to make the certain content? I mean, a lot of it. I mean, not a lot of it, but a good amount of it is based on your culture as well, right? Like you're doing the voiceovers, you have your parents involved, you have your family involved. So that's a big inspiration, obviously. But what makes you really just sit down and say, okay, what am I gonna do for this?
That's a good question, bro. Am I weird, bro? I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of work projects, so I put that first.
Of course.
And then when it comes to my own stuff, maybe personal experience, a lot of, you know, like, cool, like, I'm pretty sure you guys do this too, but if you have an idea, you write it down, right?
Of course, all the time.
Yeah, it's mad helpful.
You have to, bro.
Yeah, I never used to do that. And then I'd be like, what's that idea? And I get mad at a random shorty, like, yo, what did I say?
What did I say that time?
Yeah, what did I say? You don't listen.
I told you to listen. You're like, no, I gotta buy a notebook,
bro. Like, you know, like, I'm toxic. But, you know, so it's like, yeah, were we...
Yo, I was saying, when you kind of decide, listen, I gotta make some videos right now.
Yeah.
Do you even do it that way, or do you just do like, yo, this just happened, I'm making a video of that right now?
Yeah, 'cause some of it's timely, like
like trending
some
shit.
of it low key won't be as fire if you wait 2 days.
Yeah,
you know?
it's on the ball.
But see, there's some that you can make fire. It just depends how you flip it. Like that Filipino diving thing happened like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's old. That's old.
Yeah,
right?
and I'm like, I seen that clip. I'm like, it's over.
Yo, the second positive man, bro.
It's not his passion.
It's not his passion. Stuck his shit. It's not my passion. Yo, it's dying,
I don't think so. I don't think it was.
Just you use life to inspire you, pretty much.
Definitely life, and then, you know, other creators kind of bring up ideas, and I think everything original that I've done, you know, one thing I gotta do better on, which I've learned at TSN for sure, is like write. So like pre-write the idea of it, because when me coming up with my own videos, I pretty much just record. I have an idea, maybe like how it's gonna end, but I don't know, like especially voiceovers, which I love, guys. Like I don't write that, like
that's
I just
crazy.
talk.
Just go at it.
But that must be easier because now you're going backwards and kind of writing them now, so now it must be easier, no?
It must be. It is definitely. It's a little more structured and but and understandable.
And I'm curious, at TSN, like are you tasked with the duty to come up with content too?
100%. Like especially with the whole bar down team, which is the future, man. All those guys, like this guy named Z.
Everyone's got just a letter.
Yo, we got D, we got Z.
Trust me, there's a man named H. He's crazy. There's a guy named Z that I met in the very beginning, and it was like when I first joined, my content actually, they were like, okay, the Jurassic Park, like let's make some content, which is crazy because like I never really saw content there before. So I'm like, okay, here it goes, like let's just do this. And I did a lot of streeters. I think I did 4 episodes, or I think 3 or 4 episodes, and it was like a partnership. But I would go around and talk to people, which is crazy.
Those are the funniest. Those are the funniest, bro.
And that's the thing. God. I really like. I don't know. I think sometimes like the way I stress is like, okay, which lane can I just go all the way in? Because you could tell like I like doing different things. Like I want to show that because there's some creators that got popping off one thing and then they're doing it 30 times and then they feel kind of.
Well, that's what I like about you. I was gonna say you're always switching it up. Like you can, like when we hit your gram, there's like 30 different types of video, which is
you could tell you're doing it because you love it, not just because you're doing it for some certain reason. That's when they start doing it 30 times in a row,
and not just because one popped off and you're like, okay, cool, let me just stick with this now and just run this for as long as I can, type of thing. But it's important, man. As a creator, it's one of the hardest things to do. Like whatever. Well, I'm gonna give you like a Drake comparison. Okay,
let's do it.
Like this guy, every album he's ever dropped, majority of them, like the man's rapping in like Jamaican and he's doing the English thing.
He's a goat.
But
singing about love, singing about hate,
singing, rapping, crying, whatever. So that's important, and that's what puts him above other rappers or artists in general, is because he's able to switch it up, and it's still hitting the same way. Right. Which as a creator you're doing, right? Man, you're creating content, your own content, which is a complete different array of a bunch of different shit. Then you're doing stuff for Chronic Inc., which is like completely different. Now you're doing TSN, which like there's obviously like a level of stuff you can and can't do, and can't 100%.
Say. But I feel like they even give you a lot of freedom too to kind of do your
a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
A little bit. He's like, yo,
no, like
D.
No, like
but like they were creating your own show and stuff for you too. Remember, like all that stuff.
The creative. Man, I'm telling you, that creative umbrella there, and then D and everything, like they know what's good. Like they know what they're doing, man. Like
proper guidance then.
And like there's like the broadcast hosts like Jack Armstrong and Leo and
all love those
guys. Killers.
Like Rod Black, right? You, but then there's another lane of like us that do the social side, which is cool because in a way we're kind of being trained. We're learning, and. I never forget D. This guy threw me in there like, yo, I believe in you. Let's make this. And I did a bunch of streeters. Then I had the live TV bit at had the live TV bit at Nathan Phillips Square, which is like blew my mind, and which is crazy because that was the moment my dad was like,
I wanted to ask you this question.
He came around after.
I wanted to ask this question.
I was like, bro, I had to go on TV for you to know that,
For real though.
That was my question. Was like, okay, now all this stuff happens. At what point of all these different things, this timeline, are your parents like, okay, shit? This guy was made for this. Like, this kid was made to do this, right? Like,
Chronic King for sure. They were like, oh, he's making money, which is cool.
It's a job.
Yeah, it's a job. It's a job, and he's like, he's being a clown. Cool. Like that's cool. Like that's when they're showing love. But the TV bit especially because my dad knows sports, like coming like whatever, and he actually was watching Raptors the most in that year because of that. And it was that small thing that comes up and your name.
Oh
Teddy Tong,
yes.
Changed it.
Done.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah, that was.
I just got goosebumps listening to that one, bro.
Like, yo, I might need to go to the washroom, but that moment.
That was a moment,
big, and I remember like being emotional and going like, yo, like, thank you for
Yeah.
at least seeing it now.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that I needed to go that big. And remember that line I said in the beginning of the episode? I said, my dad said, you're Asian, you'll never be on TV.
Yeah.
Man's on TV.
And man's on TV for real.
I'd love it to be more frequent. That's why I need to work hard and
Of course.
continue to grind and,
It's just the beginning.
learn. Like, yo, and another thing too, like, learn from the guys above you, man.
Okay, you got to be
come in like you know anything.
You got to be
because you
coachable.
don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be coachable.
Yeah,
and
coachable.
you got to keep learning, bro.
And I have a question. I want to kind of now kick it back to the beginning again.
Yeah.
During that time, like, were any of your friends trying to do the same thing, or even in a creative field? Like, you know what I mean? Because that's also a tough
not
part
really,
too, right? Like,
To be honest, in Chaminade, Ernesto was the only one that kind of like did it too.
yeah.
yeah.
At Cham.
Yeah.
So you're just on your
That
own.
understood like what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my circle, no, because they have their own journeys too. But
Yeah.
you know, my circles, yeah.
No, I was just curious because I know it's always easier, like, when you have someone in your circle, your close circle, even your like
bro.
outer circle, that's just like
It was
kind
a
of in the
weird
same
time.
thing,
It-
someone
like,
to talk to, right?
Anyone
Like,
you would have brought that kind of
nobody.
thing up to would have been like, yo, what is that? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
And
they
it's
just
tough,
they just
man.
don't see. They
Yeah.
don't see it, right? And I understand, but it was like, yeah, I only got one life realistically, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, you realistically do got one life. So I was like, I'm okay with taking this chance.
Yeah.
Because one thing I want to hit too is I hate people I meet, not hate, but I just like don't like mess with when I talk to people and they're like watching a game or like, yo, I could have been like a soccer player, like, you know. Yo, honestly,
Well,
like,
that's me all day.
yeah,
but-
it's like, no, I like you though. But it's like, you know, I could have been a baller, like, you know, but it's like, I could have been a chef on that show, but it's like, did you even try?
Yeah,
Actually
yeah.
try
Yeah.
though. Actually
Yeah.
Did
try.
you even actually try?
And by try it means years, like years.
Did you
years.
even try?
Yeah.
Did you obviously fail? Did you learn? Did you and that was like one thing. I'm like, yo, like when people say that, I'm just like having that mind in my
Yeah.
because it's like you're saying all this, but you never tried, and that's the sauce there.
Yeah.
There's so much people like that, man.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I could do a podcast. I could have neighborhood, but did you even try? Did
And
they know what you guys did to get here and
Yeah.
design it and create an aesthetic and do all the podcasts and, you know, all the charity work that you guys done?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know,
Appreciate
right?
No, I appreciate it. Appreciate the love. No, it's true, man. It's and that kind of goes back to the whole thing where it's like then they finally see it and they're like, oh, these guys are lucky. Or this guy was lucky. It's like, nah, you don't know, man.
And it's like, and it's I want to emphasize
Someone
on
said that
keep
to you guys
trying,
before? Like,
try-
you guys are lucky?
It happens, yeah. Like
Yeah.
you get something and you could tell, but just by someone's tone, it's
it
like
doesn't have to be the words coming out. They're like, oh, you guys are lucky, or
But
you know, for
it's
this
even,
reason.
you know what comes to like when you're trying to work with others too, you're trying to give people opportunity and stuff, and you're trying to make it very obvious to them that what you've achieved is definitely possible for them if they work hard.
Yeah.
It's the excuses that come. It's just like, no, but you're Ernesto, or you're Anthony, you know, you're Dean, you know, you're Teddy. Like, yo, obviously you're on TSN, bro.
Yeah.
Look at your videos, bro. Like, that's
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or they're gonna say, oh, Ernesto, you just promoted. That's why you know all these people. And it's just like, there's all this stuff in between that you're gonna have to find out for yourself when you take that journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't tell them every little thing, but what I'm trying to say this is you gotta keep trying because they might put one video, no love, and then they're like, "See, I tried. I'm shit."
Yeah, I know.
See what I'm saying?
No, yo, I'll say fucking 10, bro.
Yeah.
Do 10 and you failed. But like, what is that though? What
course.
is 10 videos
10
really?
isn't even anything.
Right? But I understand though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's
I
that
understand
comfort zone, bro. It takes
the
a lot for someone.
discouragement.
Yeah.
I do.
It takes a lot for someone to come out of their comfort zone and say, "Yo, I'm gonna put myself out there on video," especially in a comedic way, because like, bro, you can end up looking stupid in sometimes, bro. Like, you know what I'm
1000.
saying? But it takes a lot for you to get out of that comfort zone and say, "Yo, I don't care what anyone thinks. I know I want to do this, so let's do it."
No,
You're
and,
right.
and the reason why I ask about the close friend, anyone in your circle, inner outer, is because it takes a toll on you mentally too, right? Like when you're not around people who are chasing the same dreams or people who are kind of in the same industry trying to chase the same goals, you're looking around like, fuck, I'm the only guy here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the only person here. Like, Jesus. And you're waking up every day just being like, do I continue? Do I not continue? And that's something we talk about on one of our previous podcasts, where like as an entrepreneur in any industry,
Yeah.
you know, it's a decision you make every day that's gonna affect, you know, how your day goes, how your month, how your year goes.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, I get it. Someone in a 9 to 5, they're gonna say, they wake up, they go to work, they know their job, they come home. As an entrepreneur, it's a different lifestyle because you wake up and it's like the decisions you make are gonna directly affect, you know, your next steps to moving in whichever direction you're trying to go.
100%.
It's an everyday thing. Like you're making these decisions in your head every fucking day.
That's why I say like, you're a work in progress. Like
exactly.
You know, there's 7 days in a week, and 7 days a week I'm not going ham, maybe. But if there's a day where you're lacking a bit, it's cool. Like just understand it. Be mindful that like I didn't do anything.
Just like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, and then go hard the second day, and then you know what I mean. But it's just, what can you do week by week? I don't go day by day, because day by day obviously, but I don't put pressure on myself day by day, because sometimes you just have off days. You know what I mean?
Normal.
But I go week by week. Like what did I do week that I pushed the needle? Did I go reach out to that? Did I come up with this? And you know, but yeah, with TSN there's a lot of work to do, because you know this whole thing like messed, like bro, like I was doing a Teddy Talk segment where, you know, I would kind of do obscure sports. So I did like dodgeball and like, you know, Quidditch, bro.
I know, I remember those.
Like, bro, I was on a broom flying. Like, did you see that? You didn't see that? Wow.
I seen that, bro. This guy took in our face like, yo, you didn't see that.
Young sweet on there?
No, that was actually what I wanted to ask you. I was actually going to ask you before we got on the mics, but so now how has that climate, that landscape changed now, especially with TSN, right? Because your own content you can create still.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
To a certain extent.
Yeah. So you know, I don't know if you saw my post recently, but I had this segment called Teed Up. Do you see where it was like, bro, like it was like gave me chills, because after the live broadcast,
spoke about that, we did. You brought that up to me. You're like, yo, we're doing this thing called Teed Up.
Yeah. It's like a voiceover thing, which is kind of like my bag too. But you know, and they set me up with the proper equipment and everything, and it was crazy because it got broadcasted on TV, and then Rod Black was like, "We want Teddy Tong in the studio," and I'm like, "Wow, that's crazy!" Like Leo Rowdens, like these guys are like, you know what I mean? They
calling me out here, you know what I mean?
That job is so hard. It's hard. Like I see it. Like I've low key felt it a bit. Like it is not like, it's actually like, you know what I mean? Like they're so polished, and if only I want to continue to learn from them. So
of course. So would that be your goal moving forward, to have a position like that?
I would love to like comment Raptors games for sure. The Raptors thing is not, I wasn't a fan because I joined there. I was such a passionate fan. That's why I thank God. I thank whoever was watching me. Thank the guy that found me. Like, because I was like, I remember, you know, the girl, my girlfriend at the time, she would study in the library. I would come because, you know, I would just want to come through. I'd be like, I'm studying too. But then I'm watching a Raptors game on my iPad.
Damn.
But you know what's crazy? I wanted to kind of like show that I'm studying too. So I put a book. I put a book. This guy's laughing. It's fine. I put a book. So I'm just like, you know, I'm watching Rudy Gay.
I'm going to see you next podcast with a book in your hand. You're going to be like this, bro. I'm going to be like, this guy's staring at this book for, bro.
I had a book. Like these are stories I actually never told. Like I love you guys. You're shit. Like,
that's crazy.
Let's do another episode.
Of course.
We will. Back one more time.
But I had the iPad. You know, while she was studying, and I'm like watching Raptors, bro. Like I love them so much when I like.
Those are the things you think about when you're like now at the stadium and now being part of it all, right?
Oh my God.
Those are the things you flash back on and you're like, yo.
Like, you know, when we had Bosch those times, and when we made the trade for Jermaine O'Neal, and I was like, oh, no, we got two big mans down there.
That's what we were supposed to do.
Jermaine O'Neal, he's like diving it like this with his curly hair, crazy.
Calderon, we had
Calderon. Then we got, you know, then that's when we got Larry, and he came off the bench. We didn't really know what because he didn't get that time yet. And you know, our team was elevating, and you know, we went through so many stages, and I was watching in that moment, disappointed every year, but I loved, like, when we got Rudy Gay, I'm like, yo, we're here, we have a guy, and his first game was nasty too, he was going off, whatever, and then he hit a buzzer at home, and like following kind of games, like, he was like our guy, and then it didn't work out, obviously. Of course. So being there after what just my feelings for it, and then being there my first year with TSN, and we won a ship.
It's craziness.
Perfect timing, bro.
Like,
the only thing could have been better was they won at home. It would have been only better.
No,
but like,
you know, can't have it all.
And like, yo, man, it's such a blessing, bro. That's why I want to keep working hard, because, yo, obviously, like, you said that with the climate, everything's changed, and it has. I have a green screen at home now where I'm trying to do like more teed up segments, but with me on camera now. Still talking the same idea, but I'm on camera a bit with a green screen. Cool. So that's something I need to pursue more, and then have more talks on what else I could do, because I've been a part of some of their bar down content. So if you go on YouTube and type in TSN and you do like their bar down content, there's like there's this digital host. Oh, shouts out to Marissa. does Digital Sports Center. So on Instagram story, on TSN stories, you see her and she hosts and shit. She just kills it. But she has this segment where like, you know, you play video games, and I was there and I was playing Smash, and so we're just making content like with these guys, and all of them are so crazy. Like they're
how has it been
talented.
to be like? I mean, probably earlier on when we were first getting around the players and stuff like that. How was that for you, bro? Because like you just said, you just told us you were a crazy Raptors fan.
Yo, I was like an obsessed fan, man. It was like to the point where like my girl's worried. Like, what are you doing? I'm trying to graduate. Like yo, you're watching so
trying to marry
much.
Van Fleet?
Yeah, you know. And but yeah, like the cover, when I have this, I have it at home, and I'm gonna hang it for sure. I have it's like a, what do you call it? Like a media pass.
Okay.
So during the playoffs, like I had a pass where like, you know, I could like, especially, was it the finals? Yeah, it was the finals too. Because in the beginning, I was doing Jurassic Park like crazy, which like we'll talk about that buzzer beater story, because that's like, there's something there like I actually never told yet, but it was like insane. Like, so I was always at the forefront of Jurassic. And the beautiful part about Jurassic, which someone out there is what hope you're watching, should make a documentary on it, because like, that was an amazing moment for the city. Every time I would go there, it would be the same like 10 people at the front. Mind you, you have to be there early. The same personalities at the front. Same people, bro. I'm like, yo. So I would like, you know, we all became friends, and you know, they knew that I was working there and making videos. It'd always be like, Teddy, yo, it's like love. It's like, you know what I mean? But yeah, so the shouts out to D. The access I got was like me in the library on my iPad, but like in real life. Like,
crazy.
I remember so like I go from the Jurassic Park, and then I just have this like this pass. It's so powerful. Like I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And so sometimes they're looking at me like, what? I never seen this guy before. Okay, but cool. That's legit. I go in, and I remember I walk in and I walk through the tunnel. Vince Carter. I'm like,
no, right there?
I'm like, Vince Carter. Yo, with my boy, I'm like, yo, can I say hi? He's like, I don't know. Cause like, I'm like, all right, yo. And I saw him again. I'm like, yo, Vince. He's like, yo, I'm like.
Show him the pass? You showed him the pass again?
I was just trying to show him and say, you know. I don't think he took me in. But yeah, I saw Vince Carter. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, this is Vince Carter. And then I turn the corner. I see Chris Bosh. I'm like, what? Chris Bosh, like right there. Wow, like. Go introduce myself. Yo, Chris, what's up, man? Da, da, da. He's like, what's up, man? Yo, is the first day on the job? I'm like, wow.
This guy knows.
It was crazy. And then I'm like, yo, you know, it's like small talk. How are you? He's like, hey, you know, man, you know, just working. Da, da, da. You'll be all right. Like, I never told his story because like Bosh was like, yo, you'll be good. Like, you know, just keep working.
That's
like,
crazy.
I'm like, this is CB4. You know what I mean?
You're good to go for the rest of your life now. You got motivation for the rest.
This is like a top 5 Raptor.
Yeah.
You could debate it, but Bosh is up there.
No, I think it's top 5.
And then, you know, I keep walking, whatever. And then I look to my left, I see Junkyard Dog. I'm like, bro, this is nuts. Like
classics.
Like this is nuts. And everyone's just acting normal, and I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I'm tripping in the back. Like, what? And then even my boy Z, he was so calm because he's been through this. Me, I'm like, yo, Z, it was colder on, dog. I'm like talking like, yo, this is. Can I say hi? And we had to keep working. But it was that moment when I got on the court. You know, D brought me to the court, and I'm just standing behind the net, and Van Fleet comes out. I'm like, damn, he comes shooting a shot, which is crazy because you guys don't see this, but like in practice, bro, they wet everything. Like everything. It was so weird. Like it's like he wasn't trying. Just he was like talking to a guy too, like chewing out. Boom. Like, you know, boom. You know, wet. Like, yo, it's crazy. And Van Fleet's size in person, like, I'm not a big dude, but Van Fleet's size in person, like, he's not like a big dude compared to like the average size, like a Durant. But he's like stocky, and I'm like, you see the way he plays? That's pure talent. Like to finish around the rim, be thick like that, like a big body and not like tall. So I seen him go off, whatever. So I'm seeing this in person, like I'm like, wow,
crazy.
You know what I mean? I had to rub my eyes a couple times, and then. Then I seen Ibaka come, do his hooks, whatever. Then I seen Kawhi come out. And I'm like, yo, like I lost it, bro. Because Kawhi, whoever you see, it's exactly. There's no, like, he came out, you know, like scratching his head, coming in. Like, this guy's huge, bro. He's gonna knock me out, bro. I swear to God. He'll clothesline me with his finger, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like go like this, run, boom, backflip. You know what I mean? Backflip. You know what I mean? So I see Kawhi, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, telling D, I'm like, yo, D, thank you so much, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never forget this. Yeah. Like, yo, this is Kawhi Leonard. This is arguably like one of the best Raptors we've ever had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, he came through and he got a ship for us.
Yeah.
Like, obviously our team was the best supporting cast.
Of course. But then the man cut those shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, yo, I saw him in person, bro. I was tripping. I'm like, yo, and he came through, you know, doing his. I have an Instagram story where he just he's posting up McGlure, and like they're talking, and I'm like right there, like. I'm like, yo, what are they saying? Yeah, I want to instigate
you like
something.
in the post up, like you go behind you.
I was literally like these cans right here, bro. I was literally like watching their like the post up, and Kawhi does like a smooth thing, fakes him out, ooh, and then Kawhi was like, ooh, and did the thing, whatever. Crazy, and yeah, like it wasn't until those moments where I'm like, this is a dream, bro. If I can somehow commentate. Interview. Shouts out to Kayla Gray. Kayla Gray's in the cut, like, you know, killing like, you know, interviews, and I'm telling you that the talent pool there is insane.
I want to know this. I want to know the story of Jurassic Park. You said there's
Jurassic
a story
Park,
you never told me.
But yo, Kawhi should have stayed though.
Yeah. We know that already. If he stayed, we'd probably be champions this year.
What are you gonna do, fam? It's a LeBron thing, anyways.
Yeah. What'd you think about that?
Well, you know what loves LeBron. This guy
loves
LeBron.
I love LeBron.
Yeah. What'd you think about that whole run? Like, what did you think about the bubble?
I think
it wasn't the same. Just wasn't the
but,
same.
Okay, everyone's saying it's not the same, but that doesn't mean it's easier.
Yeah.
No. I never said it was easier. Just
It could
not
have
the
been
same.
harder.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
not the same.
Mm-hmm. I think that the best team won.
The best team won.
I think the best team won.
They were the best team.
I think the best team in that
I was
bubble
low-key
won.
rooting for Jamal Murray though. The way that boy was hooping.
Man, he was snapping. It's always good to see underdog like that, bro. But
the Canadian too.
Yeah.
Just
you
good.
know?
Yeah.
It was beautiful to see the young guys like come up like that, like you know, like the bubble, whatever. People could say whatever, crowd, but they're hooping at the end of the day. There's someone that's gonna guard them. Like some guys stepped up, like they put their name on the map, and you gotta respect that because you know when the whole world's watching, how do you react? That's how you make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, the whole world's watching. What are you gonna do? And like man's like Jamal, and like
he
you know,
snapped, bro.
He snapped.
Butler snapped too. Like
Butler, yo.
A lot of guys really went off, but I think the team that deserved to win won. But I'm a LeBron fan, so I'm obviously gonna say
they deserve to win. They did.
Yeah,
they did.
green is brick though.
I don't know, man. I don't know what happened there.
Green is brick.
Yeah, but you know what? Back
that
to
guy was
back.
getting death threats,
Back to
bro. Death threats.
You think he cares?
Loki is a nice guy though. Like I never met him, but
he
we
needs to drain
communicated
the three,
before.
Come
And
on, drain the tank, fam. You gotta drain the three, fam.
Yeah.
That's it.
He should have drained that one. He should have
taking
drained
that job though, you know.
Crazy, bro.
The pressure.
That's why
the
shouts out to
pressure.
Matt Thomas.
Yo, fam,
man.
LeBron passed me down. I'm like,
He's
I don't know.
cold. Matt Thomas is cold.
I'm like, dog.
I bet timeout. No timeouts. Damn, lose.
Damn, it's okay, lose. I'd rather lose.
Yeah. No, Matt Thomas, like
He's
you know,
cold. He's
he's
cold.
an example of that. He doesn't get much minutes, comes in, gets 2-3 shots, wets him. Like that's hard to
and
do.
he's out. Yeah, and he's
That's
out.
so hard to do. Yeah. But yeah, no, sorry.
Jurassic Park.
beater.
I gotta know this because me and this guy, we were in Tulum in Mexico, streaming off like my phone in the hotel room, tripping out like. Bro,
you guys were in Tulum when this happened?
Yeah. Bro, tripping out.
Isn't that crazy?
And because
they were all playing the game. All the bars and stuff. Everyone was playing the
game.
games.
We're lucky because it was Philly, so it was like American. So they could whatever.
They were down with it. If it was like Toronto versus another Canadian squad, they would be double.
They didn't care, but it was crazy.
That's crazy that you're watching it off your phone.
Off the phone in the room, bro. Like just the man hit the buzzer beater, and we just went nuts.
This is the buzzer beater. Yo, tell me when you guys see me. Then so I can explain the story.
No, that's not him, is it?
Yeah, he's snapping. Oh my god. Yo. That energy must have been.
That's crazy, bro.
Because man, the energy in our
give you guys
hotel
some
room.
context, yeah.
The energy in our hotel room was like. The room was gonna explode.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine.
That day, because it got reposted everywhere, I like see people were laughing at me and stuff. So I thought something happened to me embarrassing.
Yeah.
Right? Then I look and I'm like, oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So yeah, man, I don't know. Like that was you cannot remake that. Just the beauty of sports.
Yeah.
You know, the Kawhi gave us something to remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That night, it was back and forth. You know, your stomach was just like in a knot, like you don't know what's gonna happen. But when that shot went up, I do remember I was filming like a face like video, whatever, and you know how it bounced. Everyone was like, "Oh,
yeah, did it
right?"
1-2, yeah.
Wait, was it tied and then we won by 2-3, or was it? Were we down?
We were down 1. We were down 1.
We were down 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm tripping.
It wasn't tied. No,
it wasn't tied. So yeah, it makes sense. So we were down. So you know, Kawhi's time, and we're all filming, and so Kawhi gets it, goes baseline on a 1-2 dribble. It's crazy because Joel's there, and like people are like in his face. So I need to burp. So he does a fade, right? Obviously, fade to the right, slow mo, whatever, and we're all watching. It's like slow motion.
In
hits
real
the
life,
rim.
it's slow motion too.
Real life, it's slow motion.
Yeah.
Remember Jurassic Park, big ass bear people, right?
Yeah.
Like so, hits its thing, and then all of us were like, oh.
Yeah.
Then it dribbles again, and then.
Yeah, like the bounces. Yeah.
No, it was crazy. Like you see us jumping, like we're jumping, and it was like the most beautiful moment in Toronto sports. Like it's up there because I embraced a stranger. Like I didn't even like it was like I didn't even know like I didn't even know this kid, and I'm just like hugging him like. It was crazy.
When it hit the rim the first time, it's probably like everyone just went quiet. No, like
it was like oh and everyone's like scared. And like I remember everyone's going off, and like I'm hugging a stranger. I'm like, let's go, like yelling at crazy. I remember I took a step back and I seen a guy fall, and people are falling, and then like you're helping each other. But it was one of the most beautiful moments in Toronto sport. It has to be up there because the whole city was unified. Like the whole city was unified, and this is basketball. Like we have basketball fans here. We have passionate Raptor fans here. It was like all of those moments in the library where I could have been studying. And I'm watching on my iPad. You know what I mean? Like it came. It was crazy. You know. So I remember that moment, like being like.
Was that your favorite moment so far in your, let's say, career?
My career? No,
nah. That video needed like the Titanic theme song, slow-mo, and then Drake in the background. Yeah, this wasn't here before us. And then need that commentary to come in, like Drake. Crazy, man.
What do you think? No, that's not your favorite.
I mean, it's there. It's definitely there. It has to be. But it was Raptors Media Day that made me like.
Because that was the first time you were like really involved in everything.
Yeah,
there.
These are like personal projects. Yeah. Like these are not like, and I just flew back from LA from Chronic, and we did like a little pop up there. We got a place by the hills, and then I knew that they when I found out it was along that time, I'm like, no way, like I'll still be in LA. So I had to get a flight a day early to make it.
Earlier,
And then when I made it a day early, I got back and I had like 4 hours of sleep, bro. I woke up at 6 and I went and I did that. Damn. It's like, how bad? Like, you know what I mean? How serious are you? And I was fatigued for sure, but I didn't feel it because of them. I'm like, what I'm about to do is pretty insane for me, at that time. So, I go media day. It's like it's in the Air Canada Center. Air Canada Center. And it's a circle. So pretty much like they have different stations and everything and every network. And then we went to TSNs, and pretty much when the players come, they go through all of them. Now I think ours was the first, so they come to us first. So while I was waiting, it was like they did another segment first. The bar down guys did another segment first with them. So I wasn't able to get Siakam and it's crazy because like Larry, I never met Larry. I would love to meet Larry. Larry's my favorite, bro. Larry, man. Larry's my favorite. I love Larry, but I never met him. So Siakam came. Never got to him. But then so it's like, okay, Teddy. So the next player that comes up, you ready to go? Like, oh my God. I'm nervous, right? I'm like, I'm panicking. But I got in that mindset again. Before any big thing, like I said, there's a lot of fear, but then I understand like there's a reason why, so do it to the best of your ability and then enjoy that moment after. Yeah. So next first player comes, Van Fleet. I'm like, fuck, this is crazy. Like I'm about to be, Van Fleet comes, we shake hands, what's up, man? Everything's blurry for me. I'm so nervous. Like but then for me, the moment they said action,
boom, you're in. Yeah,
Let's go.
Now you're
That's
in.
good.
Jeez.
Because part of it is you got to be prepared, right? If you're super nervous, it's because you don't feel as prepared.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I try to prepare in like angles where, okay, if this goes this way or that way, what can I say here and there?
Yeah.
And that's why in the video, if you rewatch it, we're playing heads up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I see
So there's
this.
different cards, and it's like we have to say, oh, is he tall? Can he shoot?
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. But the one with Yao Ming, I knew I could use that joke for me.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I waited to see if the moment can work. And mind you, I didn't say it for everybody because I didn't see the opportunity.
Yeah.
But when I did the Yao Ming thing, I was like, oh, so and I was
Did
like,
you
oh,
know?
so
Did you know pre?
I didn't know it was Van. I didn't know, but it was the way he was answering that I was like, it could be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, is he tall? Because obviously I knew the cards beforehand, so I knew what players it could be. I'm like, is he super tall? And he's like, yo, he's tall. I'm like, okay, windmills? He's like, nah, no windmills. Nah. I'm like, okay. Like, is he dominant in there? And he's like, yeah, not like. And he's like, oh, I don't know if I can say it. Like, I don't, but he's like, but he is like, well, he's one of the. I'm like, okay, is his jumper wet? I'm like, is it green light on 2K?
Yeah.
And he goes, it's pretty wet still. Yeah. And then I'm like, wait, it could be, yeah. And I was like, does he look like my cousin? I was like, could he look like my cousin?
That's when he started dying.
He started dying, and I'm like, it's a wrap. I'm here. Like, you know what I mean? I
But that came
belong
from
here.
preparation. Like you were waiting for that.
I just kind of wait, but it was
That's
just,
crazy.
I just love that it was Van Fleet because he embraced it he literally belly laughed. If you watch it, it wasn't a fake laugh. And it's like, mind you, like it's hard, man. Like interviewing athletes is like,
well, they're doing 50 a day. They're
doing
just like
50 a day, and like sometimes you're asking the same question. You know, you want to keep it different.
Yeah,
If you are keeping it different, is it funny? Or like, you know what I mean? Like it's
because you want to pull that reaction. You want to get the reaction, right?
So I did that with him and Dewan, like they both like belly laugh. Like Fred, if you see the video, he literally said like he was dying. And I'm like, let's go.
I love that, bro.
Because in my head, I'm like, we got one. we got a clip.
You're looking at the staff behind you, like, yeah, we got him.
You know what I mean? So that was an unreal moment. And I did everyone else. Matt Thomas was so cool, so down to earth. Chap, Hollis Jeff, he was like mad cool too. I remember doing Stanley Johnson. And Stanley had so much knowledge of the game. Yeah. To the point where I'm like, yo, I gotta study more. Because like he just knew so much. Like I was like, oh, so does he have like a jumper? And he's like, yeah, but like percentage wise, it might be. I'm like, whoa. You know what I mean? And it was cool to see that side of him. Unfortunately he didn't play much, but it was cool to meet that side of him, that how knowledgeable these guys are. But yeah, man, that was a big moment for me to go, but I feel the high off it. I feel grateful. I learned from it. I don't get too above water, and then you just keep going.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a question. This is the question we kind of ask everybody on the podcast.
That's good.
Obviously, it's the MBH podcast. Money buys happiness.
Money buys happiness.
When you hear that, what do you think?
Money buys happiness. I would love to tell you guys, but first off, where'd you guys come up with that? Or should I answer first?
Damn. Fuck.
No,
you know what? I can answer this one. It's cool.
Hit it.
Money buys happiness.
So we were looking for, first of all, money buys happiness. So obviously you know the phrase, money doesn't buy happiness, money can't buy happiness. That's the cliche one. So we kind of took it from that, reversed it, and said money buys happiness.
Right.
Because not so much in terms of, let's say, like life.
Yeah.
What we're trying to say is that money buys happiness. In certain situations, in most situations, money can buy you happiness if you really break it down, right? We're talking about business, entrepreneurs wise, but I think as we're going through episodes, we're starting to realize that there are many ways you can see it, but at the end of the day, I do think money buys happiness depending on what you think happiness is, of course.
A, and B, it's what you do with it.
Yeah.
Like if I got $1 million and my whole dream, or I work hard and my dream is to make money to be able to give back to my family, then money will buy me happiness.
Right.
If my goal is to get rich and buy 1 million Ferraris because that's gonna make me happy.
Yeah. You know what, we brought this up to our boy Trey. Remember we brought up the Trey.
Yeah.
Brought up the Trey. He's like, What people don't agree with that?
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, go give a homeless guy $10 right now. You tell me he's not happy, right? Like he broke it down like that, right? So it depends how you. I think it's all perspective, obviously, but the way we're looking at it, I think it depends on what happiness means to you.
Yeah.
I think money is just a tool to get you that happiness, if it is that. But yeah, I think it just depends how you look at it. So how do you look at it?
Does money buy happiness, right? Does money buy happiness?
No, it doesn't even have to be necessarily does money buy happiness. Just when you hear that,
Money buys happiness. Yeah.
yeah, like what do you think?
There's yeah.
If I said that to you and I didn't say, hey, what do you like? Just I was just like, I'm just a guy, and I'm like,
it's the hardest
money
question this guy ever
buys
got.
happiness. What do you think?
Let me drink this sponsored drink real quick. Let me take my time.
Yo, by the way, shout out Daydream.
Shout out
Yeah,
Daydream.
let's shout it up.
Yeah,
before
these
we
are
get into that.
sponsors?
Yeah,
Shout out
man.
Talk to me. I never heard of Daydream. What?
So it's a hemp infused sparkling water. Okay, but
They're a startup from Toronto.
It tastes.
Yeah, unreal.
sparkling water infused, bro. Okay,
Yeah.
what do we got here?
They're a startup from Toronto.
Hemp oil, ginseng, moringa.
This guy has no
What word's
idea what that even is.
Shisandra.
But yo, listen,
Sandra.
but
Okay, let me find the English version of what I just said.
they taste unreal. Shout out Chris Kondari. This is his startup. A friend of ours from from the city. Killing it, man.
I got the bio,
killing it. Absolutely
Canada's
killing it.
first sparkling water infused with hemp extract and adaptogens for peace of mind. So that's why we're feeling a little bit,
Yeah, I'm feeling nice right now. I can't even lie.
Jeez, bro.
Yeah, I
But
like
anyways,
this.
But
Money buys happiness.
money buys happiness. So let's hear it.
Let's
See
get
how I tried to get away from
I
it?
seen that. I seen that.
How are you guys over there? Does money buy happiness? I think
Okay, let me ask you this: what makes you happy?
what makes me happy?
Oh, that's crazy.
Is that even
That's a
harder
crazy
question? Is that even harder?
question,
What makes
bro.
me happy?
Damn.
Healthy loved ones.
Okay.
Sure.
Um,
Money can buy that.
Money can buy that,
Keep
by the way.
moving.
money can buy that. True.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. This question's
come
kind
on,
of deep
bro.
still. I got you.
Okay,
No,
bro.
I'm
you
trying
like
to think
Hold
properly.
on. You like to
Yeah.
swag out.
For sure.
You like to swag out.
1, 2.
We see
Sale
that
rap.
We see that.
Sale rap.
We see
thing.
the.
Yeah, but you sell rack. You still need the money, bro.
You know what I mean?
see
The
the
teddy bear.
Okay, watch this.
man.
Watch this.
I'm joking.
You got swag. Got the tats. That you need money for that.
But
like
I
eating
work with
food?
tattoo
You like
artists
eating-
though. Yeah.
Okay, but
Okay,
like,
but that's a cheat code. No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
cheat
yeah,
code,
yeah.
cheat code,
Cheat code thing, yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that, like, bro, like, whatever makes you happy, I guarantee you, money's gonna get you.
Yeah, and it does bring full happiness. You don't work hard for no reason. You expect some sort of income to provide.
Yeah.
I think it buys it because you want to provide for your family, so you can't provide it with your family without any
course.
of that. But there are intangibles, like small things that it will never buy. Of
course.
Like money will never buy my experiences at TSN.
Of course.
Like never.
100%.
Money will never buy, Chronic King taking a chance on me too.
Of course.
Money won't buy organic, collabs, and I think that's just my true happiness. So I don't think money could buy all that.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. Like the providing and we like some nice gear and we like the newest technologies.
I think it's about. People think when they hear that they're just like, oh, like, what are you saying? If I need
it's so
I need
huge.
5
That's
million.
why.
I'm not
It's
saying
huge.
I'm not saying like, bro, you're saying you need 5 mil right now, because like I think that's the issue with it.
Yeah.
I think when you figure out what actually you want to do with this money, that's when chasing money isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like if I'm saying I'm gonna chase this money because I want to pay my mom's mortgage, that's different. But if I'm saying give me 5 mil, I'm about to go buy a Ferrari and do donuts. That's the difference we're talking about here, right?
Yeah.
So I think kind of figuring out why you want the money.
Yeah.
And why that will bring you happiness I think that's the first step.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, you ask all your guests this, huh?
yeah,
all of them.
every
Yeah.
single one.
And they
is.
say what? Money can buy it.
Yeah.
No, you know what? We've had
like
we've,
2 people said no.
We've had 2. I think
Everybody
no,
said
no,
yes.
Maria didn't agree with that. She was the only one. Maria Papadakis.
She's
TFC.
the
You introduced me.
It's
Yeah.
not TSN, it's TFC. Yeah.
TFC and sports.
You
Sports
were TFC. That's how I met her for the first time. Cause I saw you
She's
guys.
the digital
Yeah.
host, so she does all the online stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to do something. TSN sent me to TFC too. Like when I got there, I was like ball, right?
Yeah.
But they obviously, I went to Calgary for the Grey Cup. That
Yeah.
was a big deal. I'm
Yeah.
gonna definitely post about that because I was on TV again with Kate Burness and David Sanchez. I have that clip. I'm gonna post it in November because it's like a full year thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was doing that with the Grey Cup. That was incredible. Like that experience was incredible too. Like there's a whole nother side of passionate football fans and seeing the championship. And, you know, I got to interview some of the players that like won too. And like, I got to like, you know, got to know them too. That was cool. But yeah, I did TFC as well too. When I saw you that day, I was doing a bit for them. I was doing their Instagram stories.
Oh, I seen you. I remember I seen you at the game. Yeah.
I was doing their Instagram stories. And I remember, okay, so we get there and I get this tag like from this like supporter. He's like, "Oh, I get to see Teddy in action." Like I feel like I shouldn't have read that because it made me nervous.
Yeah,
because I didn't even know where he was. Like, I just seen myself.
Now 1 people out of the 20,000
yeah,
is making you nervous.
One person. Yeah, like and like it was just filling up.
Yeah,
and like I guess because it wasn't busy yet, they wanted to film some stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, I get to see Teddy in action." Like what? Where's this guy? So then my boy Z, he's like, "Okay, let's film the intro." Okay, cool. Then he goes, "Okay, we're gonna 3, 2, 1." I'm not ready. Yo, hold on. Bring it back. I'm not ready because you know I can show you that clip, but it pans to me and I'm on the side like stretching. I'm like, "Oh, what's up, guys? We're here." And you know, and we did like a whole little funny bit there. But yeah, it's just like I don't think, man, those experiences. You just, of course, come on now. Like,
I have a quick question before we cut this. Nonchalant. What is that? Is that the brand? Like, what is it?
That's crazy.
I'm seeing like I see the gram. And is that it? You have it on your wrist? Okay, so just give me a rundown what that is, because I'm just curious.
It's on my wrist. I think like the moment I had it on my IG, it was like a meaning for me to and just like my screen. Like, you see my screen? Hold on.
Show the camera that one.
You know what I mean?
Big shock daddy.
You know, like that, and the wrist and nonchalant. It's like a good thing for me to stay calm and be in the moment. You know, I think that like there's just so much energies that try to drag you down and like, you know, try to drag you down, like push you in this direction, make you think this way, you know, make you think that, you know, you might not be making the right decision, this and that. But I like to just stay calm, stay cool, like, you know, let me go through it. I just want to be like nonchalant about it, kind of thing.
Go.
Dope.
Ice in your veins, fam.
Dope.
Yeah.
Hey.
There you go. All right, yo. For anyone that wants to find you, just drop some of your handles, bro. Let them know where to find you.
So Tedo's on Instagram, TE3DsLES. Tedo's on everything, to be honest, but I only really use IG and you know, TikTok here and there. Yeah. What do you guys think about TikTok?
TikTok been cheesing you, I know, eh?
TikTok, I just like don't have like the space. Like I just need to go
it's
crazy.
It's a lot.
But like, you know, if you repost stuff too,
of course.
Like I reposted a video I made like 2 years ago on TikTok, 3.4 million.
Blew up, eh?
Blew up.
Jeez.
It was so weird.
Damn.
Like TikTok's weird like that. Like it's a weird demographic.
Yeah, but it's
like,
also the algorithms are like made to like blow your shit up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You post on there with like no followers, you can still get like 3 million likes on something, like 3 million views. Like,
I got 3.4 and then like 400K and then likes, and it gave me like 50K in like 20 like followers. 48 hours. Yeah. But it helped my IG too. Of like
because then your IG's in the bio, click there, everyone's just going there.
Yeah. So that was like cool. But
yo, we're gonna have you back for the next season though anyway.
Yeah. Because I'm sure
there's some shit gonna pop off in between then for sure, bro.
Netflix.
But yo, we appreciate you coming out. We appreciate you coming out, bro.
Man.
Appreciate you. Yo, time's already passed already?
Bro, time's been passing, bro. How long's it been, Dean?
Hour and 20.
Oh, okay, nice.
Okay, appreciate you guys.
All right, man. On that note, we out.
Yes, sir.